Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
Hey, Rob. What's going on, Curtis? Sean's in the house.
Wow, hello. Welcome.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Okay, Here we are. And, this is another show that we're putting on, and we're going to talk about just stuff that's out there in the industry.
Right.
And you and I just talked prior to this taping, Rob,
right,
of the deceptive things that are out there,
yeah,
and what someone will and will not do to earn your business,
yeah,
or maybe they really don't care about you.
Right.
Well,
it's just some of the things we're seeing in the homes or into the businesses. It's a little bit surprising on the practices, and we just like to kind of call it out and give you some ammunition on how to deal with it.
We're all salespeople.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right?
That's right.
We like to get out there and help people.
Right.
But there are some people that really have a different agenda.
Right.
Those are the pressure closers.
Right.
If you don't buy it today, I'm not going to bring back that weenie dog next week,
Right.
or whatever they're going to see, right?
I think where we differ a lot, especially working with you so much, is I think we're actually educators first. You know what I mean? I mean, our whole thing is about, even if you buy from us, I want you to make an informed decision. So in order to do that, I have to inform you and make sure you understand. And I will sit there as long as it takes until I know the light bulb went on and you got it, because I don't sell for the sake of selling. I think that's one of the great things about here is we're really educators first.
The crazy thing about so you guys speak up at any times now. I'm not putting you on the
I'm not putting you on
the edge
agree.
now, right?
Chris and I can read.
In order to be an educator, you have to be a helper.
Yeah,
if you want to help somebody, you have to educate them.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about something recently. You want to know the real character of the sales representative that came to your house?
Mm-hmm.
Ask him back 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
See if he'll ever get in his car on the third one.
Exactly.
I mean, you and I drove to Woodland Hills. I mean, we're in Upland, right?
We're in Upland, so an hour and a half to 2.5 hours each way.
And then the traffic coming home,
Yeah.
was pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
I think we could have spent the night and got home sooner.
It was
Just
always
crazy.
Look, we've been out there 5 times, and on the way back, all we kept hearing from our phone was, "There's a delay of 18 more minutes," and I think we must have heard that worth another hour.
Yeah,
and,
Google traffic kind of kept building that number up.
Oh my
man.
God, it kept going up.
Yeah,
and it's what you do if you we care about customers, we care about our industry. And to protect our customer in our industry, we have to do what we have to do.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And we want to do the best for our clients, which means we have to be at our best all the time.
So attention, all customers. Anybody out there that's going to do anything home improvement, residentially or business speaking, right, or whatever we're going to do, make sure the person you're talking to actually has knowledge about what you're really trying to get.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever done this before. I've gone to my local hardware store.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I've challenged these guys at these little
kiosks?
Little kiosk,
Yeah.
right? And of course, I don't want to brag. I've only done this for 26 plus years.
Right.
And I would ask them a couple of questions, and it was just like, deer in headlights.
Yeah. Yeah, and what they are is they're appointment setters, and they've been given
Is
just
that what they're
enough
called?
information to be dangerous, but they don't always know enough even to qualify, because we know, in solar, like for instance, not everyone does qualify. Some people
That's
it's right
right.
for, some people it's wrong for, but how many have the integrity to tell you, this really isn't for you?
We should
And
try
that's
back next year, right?
Yeah, and
Or
that's the
something
first
like that.
thing we tell people. If it's right for you or wrong for you, we'll be the first people to tell you on both counts.
One of the meetings you just talked about 30 minutes ago, you said you went to this meeting of a whole bunch of people, and he said, if you do what to the mirror?
Yeah, no, this was in a company. This is a solar company, one that if I mentioned the name, everyone would know. It's a big brand.
Starts with an S.
Yeah.
Ends with a Y.
Yeah. Ends rhyming with pity, because what they did to people was okay. And so
Pity.
at one point when they needed to increase sales, and my whole thing was qualify. These questions help us know if this is a fit. If it's not a fit, I don't want to waste somebody's time. And they held a big meeting with about 800 people in the room, and their qualifier became one thing: if a customer can fog a mirror. They have they have a pulse.
Wow.
Make the meeting.
Are you kidding me?
No, and I looked at that and I just said, well, that's a big waste of time for a lot of people. It's inconsiderate to a customer.
That's for sure.
They should be arrested for that.
Yeah,
well, they pretty much, are almost out of business, and Tesla's bailed them out. But it's that type of mentality that a lot of companies have. They pressure salespeople in by quotas. A lot of people don't know how much pressure these local sales guys are. The men and women are put through a 1 to 2 week training period. They've never sold it before, and they're pushed out there and told they got to get 20 installs a month, and they're panicking. We don't have any of that around here. So we don't have to meet unrealistic goals, because sometimes we know when you put people in desperate situations, they sell things they shouldn't sell.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's just so, it resonates so well.
Yeah,
with
Chris, can you give me a
everything
100-year warranty on my roof?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. and that's right. That's the whole point.
It's sad.
There's people out there that the manufacturer is saying, well, that's a 25-year roof. I'll give you that. And then they're out there saying, I'll give it a 30 or 40-year roof. And there's it's the warranty's held by the roofer and by the manufacturer.
That's right.
Anything else you put in paper, he's going to forget it. And those contracts, I'm sorry, they'll go out of business and they'll open up under their spouse's name, and you're without a $30,000 roof. We got no claim on it. So,
seen that before.
So
they're out there
seen
too.
it recently before.
Yeah.
And see, this is why I really love our company, because we stand by it of integrity. What quality really means is for us to have integrity.
Absolutely.
And give the person the truth about the matter based on what we're offering, roofing, windows, solar, whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Just tell the truth.
Yeah.
I think if you have qualify.
Yeah, and if you have integrity, then you're not afraid to lose the deal. No. Because you're going to tell them exactly what needs to be, what they need to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've actually put my hand out to a customer one time knowing that I knew their financial situation was pretty rough. Mm-hmm. Right? I could have talked him into a crazy, a lease with a 5% escalator on it, every year.
Right.
Which sounds undoable to anybody. I mean, why would you do that to somebody, right? But, they have those mechanisms in place. I actually put my hand out to a guy one time and I said, you know what, man? I really, really, really want to get this sale, but it's not going to help you financially.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then I broke it down to him why.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I got a glass of orange juice, a pet on my head, and he said, thanks a million.
Exactly.
And you know what? I got 2 referrals from that.
Honesty. Honesty is something that we're not always seeing out there.
Yeah.
And it's so important.
You can't go wrong with being honest.
That's for sure.
No, I
You
like
sleep better at night.
I was just going to say, if I'm being totally selfish, I just want to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And so I always say, look, I won't sell you anything that I wouldn't put on my own home, or I wouldn't sell my own father or mother. It's a real simple qualifier.
That's a great statement, man.
Because we hear what you just said, examples of that financially. We hear where a salesperson goes out and says, oh, absolutely, you're going to get the 30% tax incentive back, 100%. They act like it's a check.
In the form of a check, yeah, exactly.
You're going to get, it's a $30,000 system. You're going to get about 10 grand back. And they're on D-care, or they have an economic issue where they don't have a tax liability to get that back, but they don't care about that. And the problem is, they don't find that out until months after they've already paid or made the sale, right? They tell them it's a 100% system, and until they get the true up at the end of the year, they realize they still have a bill with the utility. But they did what they did to make the sale.
Yep.
And we don't have a company that's geared towards pressuring our people to sell. We pressure them to educate. And at the end of the day, you'll sell yourself if the education was paid off and showed you what you needed to know.
And you know what? It really takes at least 2 to 3 hours, if you think about it, to give all the right information to your customers, right, Sean?
That's it. Absolutely. 2 to 3 hours.
Weren't you telling me one time your company X, and they said part of their marketing was they were going to go up to the meter and tell the customer they were from Edison or something like that? Who said that to me?
I'm not sure.
Somebody mentioned to me that part of their training was when they go out and do their canvassing, before they knocked on the door, they would look at the meter, kind of like they're from Edison or something like that, and then go up to the door and say, hey, I'm here to help you save money. You qualify.
Well, I told you a story where I hear a ring at the door. I go to the doorbell on the house, and there's a guy outside with a vest on. Looks like a local utility guy. So
wow.
So I open the door because he looks like he's an Edison or something like that. And he's pitching. And he's got someone shadowing him, learning how to door knock. And when I asked him, I said, so this vest is what? You're not with Edison, you're not with a local utility, you're not with somebody. He says, no. I said, so you're deceptively, you wanted me to open my door. And congratulations, it worked. You got me to open the door because I saw that vest and I thought you were an authority of something, but you would never get my sale or my attention because you tried to deceive me. There's a lot of things out there where people are trying every little hook and trick. I understand you want to get to the customer, but you do it in the right way.
Exactly.
That's just not right.
It's not hard to earn somebody's trust if you have, like you said, Sean, the integrity, the honesty, and stuff like that. Yeah. And you know what? They're genuinely going to read that from you.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
They're definitely going to do it.
For instance, we was just with a commercial customer, and these same exact things came up as far as his tax credit.
Yeah.
His Mackers. And he was asking about the batteries.
Right.
And he thought, well, why don't I see the batteries part of this pricing? Because I know I need them.
Right.
And Chris reverted to, why would I do that at this moment when I want to see how I can help you first to possibly take you back down from 22 to 20 versus give you batteries. We got to make space for it and those kind of things. Right. And his face was totally shocked and surprised that he didn't add $70,000, $80,000 to the pricing when he could have. And the gentleman has the wherewithal. The business has the wherewithal.
Right.
But
because
he would not do it.
You
because
could go
he
in there
felt,
and sell the whole enchilada.
Exactly.
Instead of saying, here's the thing. We're going to go in and we're going to phase one this thing. We're going to then take a look at what the real impact was with the solar itself. We're going to see what demand is left, and then we'll handle that in the next phase. That's a proper approach, because we're not trying to oversell, right? We don't want to undersell either, but we want to make sure we're fitting that right. And sometimes that two-phase process is the best way to do it.
You're exactly right. One of the things that I do, I go into a home and I say, what are the needs and what are the wants? Yeah. You need to take care of this.
Right.
Like, let's take care of that, and then, later on we can, focus on those wants.
Right.
And so, when you go in and you have that salesman's breath that said, okay, I want to sell everything right now.
Right.
Then you don't sell anything.
Right. That's for sure.
But when the customer understands that you're trying to help them, then they're going to eventually do whatever you want.
Right.
Because they know that you're on their side.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at one of our recent jobs where the individual had multiple quotes, and everybody told him he needed a new MPU, main service panel upgrade. We went out there and we looked at it, and we're like, sure, you're in Edison and you got a center fed panel. Okay, that's not so great. It could be a main panel upgrade, but we looked at other things. Could we do a GMA? Could we do a line side tap? Because all those other avenues are less expensive.
Yep.
Right.
And we took the time where no one else took the time to do that. So instead of a company out there trying to charge him $2,500 to do it, we resolved the whole problem for $500.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I could have easily just said, yeah, MPU, like everyone else said. But we took the time to look at it. We checked out all the sub panels and everything. And we really, because you know what? We're consumers too.
That's right.
We have to buy stuff too.
Absolutely.
I want someone to treat me the way I want to be treated a certain way, right?
Karma, brother.
And so I want to. So I'm going to treat a customer the way I'd like to be treated.
That's right.
And so we thoroughly looked at the situation, and we ended up saving the gentleman money, and it actually works out better the way it was installed. But a lot of companies don't do that. They're very cookie cutter. And they're just told if there's a main panel issue, just give them a new one. Don't try to figure that out. It took 10 days for us to get it approved through Edison. So it even delayed a couple things. But we went through the extra work to make sure that we could do that. We're doing something else with someone trying to grandfather something in because of the way it was constructed. We take that time. And I think the people we're working with our clients, they see that in us because that's who we are.
You know, the problem is this huge conglomeration of people that are out there. They've all been thrown into the hot water.
Yeah.
And these companies are throwing them against the wall and see who sticks.
Yeah.
And who doesn't stick, they turn them into canvassers or they turn them into closers or whatever they call them, you know. These guys are really, really putting a black eye on the industry because it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Why would somebody, and you know what, some of these owners that I've dealt with in the past, hate to say this, they don't know shit from Shinola. Yeah. And you're telling me how to do it?
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of the companies out there too, they're more marketing.
Sorry about the S word, though.
No. Hey, it's what it is.
Shizzle, I'll use.
No, I mean, because if you look at it, I mean, some are really marketing companies. They're marketing and installation companies. You could talk a lot to their people, and they really don't know a lot about solar. You know, but it's also, they've got a lot of marketing ploys more than anything. You know, like I love the one, you know, where somebody, I love how they play with pricing, right? So, you're a veteran. I'm going to give you a $500 discount because you're a veteran.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in companies where they did that. Yeah. Okay. I've also been there and heard the sales manager say, remember, if you're going to give a veteran a $500 discount, make sure you mark up your price first. Yeah.
That's not a discount.
And then take the $500 out, because if you don't do that, the $500 is coming out of your commission.
Exactly.
Now,
where's the integrity in that?
Can you tell? So if it's a charitable, if you're giving to somebody, that, you know, from my school book,
you shouldn't have to add to it.
No, that comes out of our bottom line as
right,
a company.
the company.
That's coming out of our heart.
That's right.
That's not coming out of, you know, so
that's not a charity. That's an extortion, dude.
No, you don't tell the salesperson, make sure you include the up so we could take it down. Otherwise, it's coming out of your pocket. Tell me how that is a discount.
As he's pointing to 45 at him, right?
No, I mean, that's not a discount.
It's ridiculous.
That's fake. And I don't like things like that.
You're absolutely correct.
I was at a place for probably 2 weeks. And when I heard that in one of the sales meetings, I said, I'm leaving. And they said, why? I said, I can't sleep with that.
Oh man!
I said, you know, I don't like disingenuous. And there's a lot of marketing schemes where they're playing a lot of games. That's why when I tell people about our pricing, I'm giving you what it needs. Our pricing is what it takes to get it done right. I'm probably not going to be the lowest. I'm not going to be the highest either. I'm going to be somewhere in the comfortable low middle. Okay, but it's what it takes to do it right, one and done. It doesn't need to be redone. You know, and we're fair about it. I'm not going to mark it up $5,000 to bring it down to make it look like you got a deal. You're getting a deal.
You know, people appreciate genuine people.
Yeah.
And honest people.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna refer to this company as Company X.
Okay. Company X. Okay.
They would have us go out and give $1,000 rebates after we marked it up $5,000.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, and it's very common.
So hang on a second. You marked it up $5,000.
$5,000.
That's pretty bold,
and made
right?
them feel good about $1,000 rebate.
Oh, we're going to give you $1,000 rebate, and it's instant. As soon as the job's done, you get the check.
So wow, that's bold, man.
You know, it's unnerving.
So who got that extra $4,000? The company?
Oh, the company, of course.
The sales rep didn't get jacked, did they?
You know, it's amazing. You know, and the sales rep actually got jacked too.
You know, if you really want to understand what a company really does and where the money's at, just drive up to their parking lot, look at the Range Rovers, you know, all the Teslas and stuff like that. You come into our parking lot, I drive a 2007 Prius.
There you go.
Hello? It's almost got 200,000 miles on it. Yeah. Not that that's bad, because I get triple the mile that other Range Rover
It
does.
Helps when we're going to Woodland Hills for 5 times.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right, man. Absolutely. So raise it 5, give them one off, and make them feel good about it.
You know,
and you call yourself a good sleeper.
No.
Did you get a hug out of that?
Sleep at night?
Jeez.
No, it's you know, just be fair with people. You know, our pricing's fair because, you know, it cost us a certain amount of money to do the job right.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, I've always had a saying that, you know, people never find the money in the beginning to do it right, but they always find the money to fix it when it goes wrong.
It's horrible.
Just do it right the first time. You know, the lowest bid is typically not the best bid.
Correct.
I can guarantee you 90% of the time the cheapest bid will be the most expensive for you. In construction, and the bigger the construction is, they'll come in low and they'll change order you to death. That happens because once they got your roof torn off and things,
what are you
want
going
us
to
to put the roof back?
Yeah.
Wow.
I need $3,000 more. And we see that happen every week with people.
These contractors, they'll come out and they'll bid. They'll say, well, it's going to take us $10,000 to do your roof.
Right.
Now, they tear the roof off. Oh, this was unforeseen.
Right.
It's going to cost you an extra $2,500 here,
an
extra $1,000 here. And before you know it, this roof then costs $17,000.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, what you told me, you're the expert, you're the professional. You told me $10,000.
Right. Yeah. And that happens all the time. We hear these stories all the time.
Peel back that onion, buddy.
Yeah, but a professional should be able to go, like, for instance, we have an individual that's looking at solar and new underlayment potentially. So, we went out and pulled up some tile, looked at the underlayment to determine, does he need a new roof? Other people just went up and said, yeah, you need a new roof.
As he's looking at it from the curb side.
From the curb.
Yeah, it looks like you need a new roof, Mr. Jones.
Now, it's a concrete roof. So concrete roof, you're not going to tell from the street. You may get cracks here and there, but it's all about the underlayment at that point.
And, one of the things that I do personally, when you're talking about a roof, I always go on top of the roof myself. Mm-hmm. I see how many layers.
Yeah.
I see what's going on with it. Mm-hmm. And then I ask the customer, I need to check the inside of your roof.
Yeah.
Which is the attic.
Exactly.
And I make sure that the underlayment, the decking is fine. And if it's not, I say, okay, we're going to need that too. So I can give an accurate bid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
we should be able to. We're the professional.
We're the experts.
And if as a professional, if we're looking at the roof and there seems to be something questionable, then we're going to go ahead and set that expectation right up front. Look, it looks like everything's good, but this one area here, it's a little... there's something we could find under there. It's a little unknown. I'm looking at looks like some water damage possibly in there. So I can't guarantee what happens once I open that up, but you got to open it up. And are you okay? And then they said, well, what do you think that would cost? I said, well, we'll give them an idea of what that could cost, and hopefully we don't find that. Yeah. But it does happen once in a while. But that all has to come up first.
That's right.
They've got to be aware and that expectation set so that if something comes up we already know it's not entirely unforeseen. We're already getting glimpses. There's evidence there could be a problem there.
Right.
But they need to understand that and buy off on that
absolutely
additional potential expense. And us, we all cross our fingers that's not the case and you don't need it.
Yeah.
And one other thing is he may even tell you, oh, it's leaking back in the back room. Right. Okay, so you still have to set those expectations.
Absolutely. And what we try to do is, we work with really great people. Our installers and everything are fantastic. And what's good about it is if you do find something a little bit unforeseen, we typically just take care of it.
Yeah.
Unless
we don't like to throw the I call it the back pocket change order.
No, exactly. We don't
do
that.
Hey Rob, pull out that change order quick.
Yeah.
Or we can make another $5-6 grand.
Exactly. So what we try to do is if we can take care of it, absorb it, and handle it while we're doing other things, we certainly try to. I mean, like I said, we're all customers too.
We're not going to impose that on the customer.
No, and if you're doing a bid that's appropriate, so sometimes when I see bids that are a little bit lower, right, or a little bit higher, you're like, okay, they're kind of within the range. I myself am more afraid of a low bid, excuse me.
Yeah, low bid.
High bids, for the most part, maybe they're trying to gouge you, but at least they got all the components and the quality hopefully in there.
Yes,
that's right.
When I see a low bid, I get concerned. When I see a bid that's coming in $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 less, I'm scared, and so should you be. There's probably not a permit.
Yeah, well, first and foremost,
license.
Well, we know there's not a permit.
Yeah, the person that went up to that person to sell it probably did not have a home improvement salesperson's license.
Most likely not.
You know what? That contract is invalid if he doesn't.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
And by the way, if he does, that license must be attached to the contractor that he's working for.
Yes.
So if his license is not attached to the company that he's working for and he's signing a bunch of contracts, guess what those contracts are?
Oh, yeah.
Voided.
They're voided.
Voided. Absolutely.
So, I mean, all those customers are really getting lied to, and that's a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm. And, that actually just happened.
Really?
Yes.
You heard about that? What happened?
No, it actually happened to me.
What?
The homeowner had an issue with the owner.
Okay.
And, we went through this whole process of, it was through the PACE, went through this whole process of trying to get paid. And the homeowner, it was actually on the homeowner. We did everything right.
Yeah.
But the homeowner decided she didn't want to pay. And she decided, okay, how can I not pay?
Wow.
And she noticed that, let's check and see if he has a
wow.
HIS.
Oh, boy, here it is.
Well, there you go.
And I did.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, she had no recourse but to pay.
That's
Right.
right.
Sure.
And you know, and it works on both sides.
She went that deep.
Yeah, she went that deep. And
Good for her.
We're going to call this, refer back to Company X.
Yep.
Went, from what you said earlier, went to a house and did the walkthrough, saw that they had a little fascia damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave them a bid. I say, and my thing about giving bids is, if I give you, and I tell this to the customer, if I give you a bid, that's the bid.
Right.
It's not going to go higher, not going to go lower. That's the bid.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Company X decided that, well, we don't want to eat the $2,500 that it's going to cost to fix that. I said, okay, but the bid is the bid. I'm not going back on my bid.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And we went back and forth, and come to find out that we were making a lot of money on that deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and,
Right.
it I didn't understand. It wasn't quite
Right.
2,500. This was maybe 1,200.
Right.
But the point was, they wouldn't budge a penny. They wanted them to come out their pocket.
So they had a high margin
Yes, already.
and they wouldn't go in there and just take care of something to make the customer happy.
You know, and that you know.
There are companies out there that it's very cookie cutter, and there are
Unbelievable.
some companies that they have a margin that's a number,
Yeah.
and that percentage and that number they will not go,
That's called
below.
par.
Yeah, exactly.
PAR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's disheartening to know that you got companies out there that are just.
Was Company
looking at
X
their-
a fairly big company?
Yes.
Yeah. So see that what happens with that is everything gets really cookie cut. They have these general rules they make for everyone. And they're trying to manage larger staffs and things like that. I think the smaller to medium companies sometimes may have more integrity. At least that's what I see here.
Unfortunate, but true.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of oversight as much on some of that stuff, and again, you're going to have managers pushing for certain things, and then you're going to. I see a lot of deals being turned down, or well, they need a roof, or they need this, or there's something small to fix, and it's just no, the job will even get canceled, or the company won't pay for it, and I know what their margins are.
Yeah.
And if your margin's good enough, why don't you just make the customer happy and take care of that? You know.
That's how it
So
should
tell
be.
me, the owner of Company X, he was driving a Range Rover, right?
Tesla.
Oh, there it is. I knew it. I knew it. Oh,
And
my
had the
gosh.
audacity to have us all in the parking lot. Watch how it parks itself.
Oh wow.
Oh, there you go.
That's nobody else had a Tesla, though,
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah.
The only one.
That's called the classic rub this in
Yeah.
your face. Hey,
Absolutely.
thanks for slaving everybody and ripping all these customers off. Yay, I got a Tesla.
And, you know, at
Nice
the end-
guy, huh?
You know, at the end of my term there, I couldn't stand it anymore. It got to the point to where instead of ripping the customers off, he wanted to rip the salespeople off too.
Of course,
Oh,
it-
a double doozy.
Well, there's a great
Oh,
there's a great
man.
saying that says how you do anything is how you do everything.
That's
Absolutely
correct.
And
Yeah.
if they do that to their staff, they're doing it to their customers.
Hell, they're
day.
doing that to their
All
kids.
day.
Yeah, no, they do. You know,
Seriously?
if you cheat one area, you're normally cheating in some other
that's
area.
The collection bill goes around. He drops in $1 and takes out $5.
You know,
Is that the same guy?
It should
Same
not.
guy.
That's him.
Same guy.
It should not be too much to ask for fair work being done at a fair price by professionals. The one thing that's most upsetting kind of about a story like that is when you get a Company X that's really large, they can kind of sucker people in by a big brand name.
Yeah.
It's got I come from branding. I've branded companies and marketed, right? They make themselves look like something bigger and more having more integrity than maybe a smaller or medium-sized firm. And in truth,
They really don't.
they don't. It's a marketing scheme. It's
Yes.
really well put together. And
the classic facade.
it's a complete facade, and then the problem is typically they're run so much by numbers. That's exactly what their employees are, a number.
That's
who
right.
has to hit a quota, another number.
Yeah.
Who has to hit a certain amount of installs and this and that and revenue within a 1 month or a quarter, by the quarter or whatever it is.
So it's okay for them to bend the rules
Well, what happens
if they don't meet it.
What
Is
I-
that what I'm hearing?
What I've seen in a lot of companies is like when appointment setters, are given the unrealistic goal of maybe having to have 80 leads in a month. Well, what happens if you can't find 80 people in a month? You start going to the phone book. I watched that. They
You're
went to
gonna
the
create
phone
them, yeah.
and they created them. Or salespeople, when they put them in so much pressure to not just hit commission, they put them under pressure just to keep their job. If you're not selling this, then you're And the problem is, like you said, it gets desperate. A person scratching their head, they got a family to take care of at home. Their job's in jeopardy. And so they sell a couple deals that really they shouldn't have sold. Yeah. We purposely created a situation here, I should say Chris did, that does not allow for that. There are no quota systems. There's nothing. We all deal with selling the right deal. And we know what it is as professionals. We know a right deal from a wrong deal, and we don't sell the wrong deal. It's all going to be a value add to our customer at a fair price.
And it's sad to see that consumers are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
We see billboards from here to Vegas of the same thing, and we see all these infomercials. Oh, they must be good.
Oh, absolutely.
They must be great.
Exactly. You know what that's about, though? So there's great studies on this. Sadly, truth is becoming devalued in our society.
I believe that.
Yeah. What is more powerful than truth is repetition.
Yes.
So if I say there was the old movie Dead Poets Society. I don't know if you ever saw it. If you didn't
Absolutely.
see
It was
go
great,
back
man.
and see it. Robin Williams as the teacher said, "Let me dispel a few rumors before they fester into fact."
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you one present day.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Said enough, people start believing it.
No, and
That's why I don't watch the news.
but that's the thing.
Absolutely.
I can if I just say it long enough, it's going to
Repetition.
brand.
Yes.
Branding is the repetition of an image, a slogan. I bet I could put out some slogans right now, and you'll tell me what company it is, right? The ultimate driving machine.
Oh, BMW.
Right? When it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. That's a long one. FedEx.
FedEx, right.
So, the thing is, though, what they're doing is they're branding in a slogan into your mind. And what we don't realize is psychologically, we subconsciously start to believe it.
It becomes pathological.
But it was never fact. It was never true. It didn't have to be. And the problem with that is when they see these big brands like we're talking about, they just say, well, they must be credible because they're that big.
But what happens, though?
No, not necessarily.
What happens when you get in a pinch and you have to get something there to Seattle?
Yeah.
Oh, UPS.
Yeah.
Oh, FedEx.
Oh, yeah.
Because why?
Exactly.
It absolutely has to be there overnight.
And in that case, though,
That's
if they're delivering, that's fine. But I think we do have certain industries where the delivery is not quite as tangible.
Yeah.
FedEx, if it didn't get there tomorrow morning and they promised me, I could call them and it didn't get there. Solar, one of the things that's tough about it is they could tell you they're giving you a 100% system. They needed to make the sale, and their price was too high, so they went and gave you an 80% system, and you didn't know it. That salesman is probably not going to be there a year later at the same company, and you're going to get a true-up from your utility, and you're going to find out a year later that you didn't get what you paid for. That's why it's so important you're with somebody of integrity that knows the industry. Like you said, we only got 25, 30 years of experience in this industry.
Just a few.
We know how to avoid those things and we know how to sell properly. And I don't know how many times I've been out there. We just had to add panels to another person a couple months ago because
add a lot
well,
of panels to this guy's roof.
Yeah, and
it's disgusting.
Just to make up, what they didn't design it for, and so, we don't like really being the fixer because when we're fixing someone, I want to help you out, but I also know somewhere you were taken advantage of, and we don't like to see that by anybody.
Sure.
We damn well don't like to see it in our industry. Like you said before, it gives us a bit of a black eye, and solar is an amazing industry. We need to be pushing green. Yes. We need to be, we need to be leading this march, not following it or going back to, coal and other things. We need to be leading the Paris Accord. We need to be out there putting solar on homes. We have a means for families and businesses to save money.
Right.
Here's what I told the guy recently, a homeowner, and he was talking about solar and all this other stuff. I looked at him and I said, the next guy that comes behind me, make him show you what kilowatt hour per month that panel puts out and let him show you the formula.
Yeah, he won't be able to do that.
Right. First and foremost, I don't know how these guys are putting systems together. I think they go to this marketing room or this sales room, and this sales manager that kind of thinks when he knows what he's doing, and firstly, he's dangerous. Mm-hmm. And then he just tells them, I remember this one sales manager to a group of Spanish sales reps, Of course, the company is imploded now.
Right.
He used to tell every single person in there, only sell a 12-panel deal because that's all they're going to need.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
84 systems later, 84 lawsuits later, guess what happened?
Yeah.
XYZ is vamonos.
Yeah, and it's really sad because
Pun intended.
Yeah. No, and it's really sad because they've given a black eye to an industry that's very valid. What we ultimately have,
It's a great
here,
industry, man.
No, it's one of the best because what we have here is utilities constantly on the rise.
That's right.
All right. You went out and did a very smart thing. You bought your home. Then you did a very foolish thing. You rented your energy.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so why are you doing that? With all the incentives we have this year, why are you still doing that? This is the last year. There's going to be years that are still okay.
This is the best
this is the
of the entire industry
year.
right now.
Yes.
For all the years we've been in, there's never been a better year than this year.
Absolutely.
But sometimes they make the solar industry look a little questionable when no, it's your utility that's questionable.
That's great.
If we do this right, you're your utility.
Yes.
That's it.
But it takes soldiers. It takes people that understand the business.
Educators.
It takes educators to go out to convey this to these consumers to make them understand.
Exactly. That's why I hate the term salesperson.
I hate it.
I'm not selling
Bugs
you
me.
anything. Selling to me, when I hear the phrase, almost sounds like I'm
a car
convincing
salesman.
you of something.
Yeah,
Yes,
convincing
I'm
you,
coercing you into believing my way
right.
of thinking. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to look at your home. I'm going to look at your finance. I'm going to look at your bill. I'm going to see if there's a means there to help you. And I'm going to give you all this information. And if your head starts moving up and down, nodding that you got it and it makes sense for you, you sold yourself with the information provided. Because people can lie, but I'll tell you one thing that doesn't. Numbers
don't lie.
Never.
Numbers don't lie.
That's
So I'm
Never.
going to show you some data. You're going to look at that, and you're going to say whether it works or not. And if it doesn't, I'm going to shake your hand. And like I did with this one couple, they wanted solar so bad. They didn't have the roof. They didn't even have a big enough bill. And I really couldn't do it. But at the end of the day, I just said, I told you I'd get you the lowest bill. They had low income. So I helped them call up and get on D-Care. And the husband was on a sleep apnea machine.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I can get you a medical baseline. And I stayed there for an hour with them on Edison, and I got them signed up for that. And they said, why'd you do that? And I said, because I said I would help you lower your costs. I couldn't do it because you didn't have the roof for it. But, 2 months later, I get a couple referrals. Hey, my brother wants it. I can't believe how honest you were.
Yeah.
It's so sad that that's rare out in the industry. That should be
really rare.
That should be happening every day.
Sean said it right. Karma.
Well, yeah, but how good does it feel when sometimes we've had deals where it wasn't right for them, and we felt as good just by educating them.
Yeah,
and helping them understand
so
why.
I went to this customer's house, and she wanted a roof, and I was like, okay. We went, and she had a whole different issue going on. She just wanted to get it repaired. Mm-hmm. The insurance adjuster was, misleading her and not doing what he should have done.
Those guys suck.
I got on the phone with the adjuster.
Good.
And explained to him that, you guys gave a false claim. Mm-hmm. You guys didn't come out here and look at her roof. Mm-hmm. I sent them pictures. I said, well, there's nothing wrong with the fascia and the soffits. Mm-hmm. And by him understanding that I knew what I was talking about, she got her money. Yeah. Now,
Yay.
I didn't get a sale out of that, and I wasn't expecting one. I was just doing. She was 93
well,
years
you're
old.
doing the right thing, man.
You got paid in a different way.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm not done.
You got paid knowing you did the right thing.
I'm not done. I didn't get a sale. She was 93, and she was so happy that I helped her. A couple of weeks later, I'm getting phone calls on my phone from people I didn't know, I didn't have appointments with, saying, "Hey, you talked to Miss X, and she referred me to you."
Absolutely.
And it's just little things like that.
The thing that always amazes
Love it.
The thing that's really nice out there is and we hear this a lot when Chris and I go out, is people are surprised by how we are.
Yeah.
We've had people say, "Aren't you going to try to pressure me to sign?" I go, "No." Not really. That's not what we're here about. We're evaluating everything here, and we're helping you realize this stuff. But it's always, I love if 5 other companies almost went in there because we're always the refreshing one. Because we're always the one that, or we hear, 3 companies wouldn't even come out. I'm so far out. They just wanted to do the appointment by phone, and it's so it's
make a Skype call.
Yeah, but it's they see that we are different.
Yeah.
And the whole business here is built that way. And that's why this podcast is out. It's to help people. There's nuggets of really helpful information in here that can help you figure out what you really need to do.
No, absolutely.
Don't fall for the $500 discount or the one that Sean came on.
Oh, 1,000.
5,000 up, 1,000 down, right?
The whole goal for us as consultants, for us as educators, is to give them information so he and his family can make an informed decision on which direction they want to go in.
Absolutely.
Amen to that.
So get informed out there.
Absolutely.
Give us a call.
Rob,
Yep.
Curtis, Sean, thank you guys so much for hanging out.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
We're going to let these other guys go back to work or do whatever they want to do. Thanks for listening to our silliness. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk to you soon, guys. Take care.
Talk soon.
Thank you.
The Energy Hour was brought to you by...
For beauty, efficiency, and power, the only product we know in the solar industry is Solaria. Maximum power. For nearly 25 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Maximum power. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Maximum power. What really defines home solar? How about Solaria? Quality you can trust for your home or business. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Where do you get this panel for your home or business? Go to QHIinc.com. That's QHIINC.com/Solaria. SOLARIA.
Got your latest electric bill? Is it less than last month or last year? Probably not. But if you had a solar system from QHI, it would be. Your electric meter could be running backwards. Right now, get a QHI system installed for no money down, no out-of-pocket expenses. Get an immediate savings on your electric bill. Call 909-609-5437. Solar is all they do. Call QHI 909-609-5437.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to QHIinc.com/TEO. That's QHIINC.com/TEO.